Hello, gang. It's Wednesday afternoon on July 24th. Let's have a quick grain update, specifically soft white wheat, hard red spring, as well as we can touch on the corn and soybeans a little bit, canola as well. But a general update, but I wanted to focus, like I say, on soft white wheat. Harvest is rolling right along. It's Today's a slow day for us. We got the wrong part in the mail today, so we're gonna wait another 24 hours. Hopefully, they'll have the right part tomorrow. Uh, Very frustrating. I know many of you are fighting fire. Uh, that's not fun. It's been a rough summer. October can't get here fast enough, can it? Like October. So, anyhow, so yield reports, mixed bag. It's a very bad year for backyarditis, right? If you're in the regions that got the rains and missed the frosts and had snow cover, you're happy, you're ecstatic, things are going well. Hearing some record yields in parts of the state, Washington and Oregon. Most are it's below. A couple of years ago we had that other big crop. Um, we move north, it gets rough. You get into some of that frozen stuff. I mean, there's reports of 80 bushel ground going 40, 60 bushel ground going 30, 80 bushel ground going 12. Um, so it's quite the mixed bag. Overall, I still expect a average to slightly above average crop for the Pacific Northwest. But you're going to have pockets that have weed everywhere laying around the ground, and you're going to have pockets that didn't fill anything up. So it's just a funny year. So it's kind of hard to quantify a year like that. But I think the good outnumbers the bad. We'll see what happens when the Palouse gets rolling. We'll see what happens when the spring wheat gets ripe. The last 3-4 weeks is record heat for July. It's going to be the hottest July in Oregon since we've had records. Oddly, the last year that the records that we are tying or breaking was from 1958. So that's back there in the negative PDO zone, just like we are now. So negative PDO can mean high heat and cold or cold. So anyway, grain markets, harvest pressure is hitting the white wheat. We're going to hit that hard. There's enough, the lower country and mid-slope country that are harvesting right now, that's where the good wheat is, and they're feeling like, their merchandisers are saying we don't have room, so it's giving off the impression that, my gosh, there's wheat everywhere. You better sell it or it's going to drop another $1. So there's going to be a lot of selling going on in the next 20 days. A lot, especially the next 15 days. So I'm expecting white wheat could back up a bit. We'll see what futures. If futures start moving higher, then white wheat's probably not going to back up. One thing I think we can rule out is white wheat moving up independently. I don't think we're going to see it move up by itself. It's got to take futures to pull it up. Yes, there is a chance we could see, China or somebody big move in and swap up a whole bunch, and then if that happens, then white wheat can do that. But so far, we haven't seen that. And given China's pace on soybeans, I don't expect them to jump in and buy a bunch of white wheat today. So I was encouraged to see bids hold this afternoon. The reports from the merchandisers, there's a lot of farmer selling. So the fact that we absorbed that this morning and didn't fall off this afternoon that shouts that there's demand coming in. We'll get our next export report tomorrow. We've been averaging 5 to 6 million bushels a week. I'd love to see another number just like that. If we can keep that rolling, it solves all our problems soon. I am a fan of selling cash wheat at this positive basis that we have right now and buying calls. If you don't want money till January, look at the January contract. There's a big carry in it. You've got 605 for January, 610. So that's better than the 570 up front. So it pays for your storage and your interest or your call option, however you want to do it. But getting some of that done, not a bad move. Switching that, that's why I did the basis contracts a while back. I just thought, okay, I'd rather have futures exposure at these levels with the crop coming on white wheat and the soft red put away versus just holding white wheat and having to live through the farmer selling. Hopefully we don't back up, but if we do, we're okay. If we've got our exposure split up a little bit. So, hard red spring tour, they're finding good wheat in North Dakota and Minnesota. They're going to have good yields. The first day yield report was 52.3. That's a strong spring wheat yield. Today was even stronger. We will see. I think we know that area is good, and the market sold off from it, which is odd. I think the bigger story is Western Canada and Montana. That area's they got that high heat that we got in the Northwest right at the wrong time. I mean, we had nice lush crops going in, and all of a sudden, right as it started to head out, here came the 100-degree stuff, and it never changed. Still there, still 100 degrees. So with no precip. So that took a lot of bushels off. It's making me back up my Canadian number. Not sure where yet, but we were in that 34 range. It's coming down now. So maybe 35, and now we're looking at maybe 31, 32, back towards average. So USDA is going to be high on that for a while. Anyway, what else? Corn. Not much happening in corn. The market's acting like it wants to bottom here. We saw an unknown sales, which I assume was China yesterday, a couple 100,000 tons. That was good. There's a lot of heat coming into the Midwest, some dryness, but I don't know. I still think we're headed for a big yield number. Acreage will be what matters, but honestly, we're not going to get any good feedback on acreage till we roll into next February, right? So that's for now. It's just going to be yield reports, and the yield's going to be outstanding most places. So anyway, we'll see what happens when the combines roll. But I mean, you've got some 12 feet tall corn out there, a lot of it. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean ears. That just means the stuff's like what it has growing. So there may be some disappointment. I don't know. I mean, people are going to expect, a moonshot on yields, and it's when your sights are that high, you might be disappointed. But point is, funds are short heavily all three markets, and anything that's going to spook them out of there, even if it's just the technical side, we could see a decent bump here. Been waiting to offload that last little tiny bit of corn and soybeans for 23. We're close to that time. If I see a day I like, or if it starts getting heavy, you'll probably get a recommendation from that on me, or from me. What else? There's more to talk about. I'm kind of spacing here, but my overall reason. The other part was canola. Canola's in that Western Canada region too, and it's struggling. And there's a lot of canola. And so I like the looks of that chart. I feel like if we could move up, get over those highs I talked about in that 700 Canadian dollar range, get over that, that's going to look good on the chart. So that market has got some room, but we haven't done it yet. We're still below those highs, so let's give it some time. Anyway, that's about all I got. I know there's some stuff I'm forgetting, but if it's important, I'll write it down and send it. I'm here if you need something. I'll get back to you as soon as I can if I miss you. So don't hesitate to call. I know a lot of you guys are just as busy as I am, so it's just part of the day. So anyway, take care, stay safe, and good news is we get cool weather for at least for the next 7 days. So I'll take it. Talk to you soon.